Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Excuse my dirty face and my dog that just wants me to throw the ball. But I've got my work cut out for me and all to do with this. So this is the majority of the permanent fencing for the Advanced Grazing Systems rotation. So the page wires for the exterior fence along the edge, along the tracks on the property. Got 4 bundles of posts that'll do the cross fences as well as the exterior fence. And then ignore my random strapping I got going on here. Because our ground is so soft here, I need to put extra corner posts in so that they don't move. And even when I do, they still end up moving. You can see that corner post is already heaved and moved over quite a bit, so I'll have to figure out a way to fix that. Then we've got our barbed wire for in between on the cross fences. So I opted to put page wire, like I've got it all the way around the property already. I've opted to put that on the perimeter fence, but what I'm going to do with the barbed wire is for the cross fences, which there will be one in this front field to split it in half, and then in the back field it'll split. There'll be, I can add the picture of the grazing plan back in there, but it'll basically be like splitting it a third in the long direction, and then 2 cross fences on to split the other 2/3 of the field, but splitting it the short way. I know I'm explaining this very terribly, but yeah, so that's going to be barbed wire and the addition of 2 galvanized electric, and that will also bring in the ease of bringing the power around to this front field without having to use multiple fencers. The fence energizer will stay in the barn under cover, and then it'll run out along the entire one side of the property, come around, feed that central fence. Then my individual paddocks with the temporary fencing that you can see one line in the background here to separate each paddock. I also have over there, they're separated off into a paddock on that side, even though they're up by the gate, they just want to know what's going on. But I'll do a video explaining what the whole rotational grazing system is, but you can see they graze this paddock, then I had the second paddock behind there, and then eventually once that seeding takes, there'll be number 3, number 4, number 5, and then the one that they're in is number 6. And then there'll be 2 in that far field, and I believe there's 8 in the back. So the permanent cross fences with the barbed wire and all of the exterior fences with the page wire will be completed under this program. I've already purchased the good majority of the electrical supplies that I need, so that's going to be all set up once the seed takes, and I need the grass. But yeah, I got quite a few extra corner posts to avoid it heaving. Our ground here is so funky, so seems to work with putting extras in. And yeah, I'm gonna make this happen. Like I said, I'll do a video explaining what rotational grazing and what the principles behind it are, and how it works. I shouldn't say not how it's supposed to work, because I've seen it work. So yeah, I'll do a video explaining that after I get a little bit more of this actual physical work done, because this is, when you're working by yourself, this is a lot of work. So yeah, hopefully I can get that video done in the next little bit here. We'll see how that all goes. I still have to finish shearing and, you know, all the other regular sheep management chores, and also not working myself to death. So yeah, it's gonna be busy, but I'll get it done. got about half of this long stretch done here. The string keeps my line in straight, and I just cut boards the length so that longer one is in between the middle posts, and then the shorter one is for the brace posts. Just lines them up perfectly so that when I go to build the H braces that they're the right size and they look good the whole way down, because they're not eyeballed, they're actually the right length apart. So yeah, I rent this post pounder from the local farm store, and it's fairly reasonable to rent. It's not super expensive, but if you're not prepped and ready to go, it can get expensive, because then you gotta, you know, get all of your strings in place and all your everything so you can just pound. But yeah, it works out quite well that I rent this and have everything prepped. Just pound the corner post, tighten the string, and then in and out of the truck the whole fence line. So I'm gonna go refill posts and go probably work back here next. So from this corner post past that old fence, kind of to where that long grass is right there, I'm going to put a fence on an angle, and then it'll go straight west again to match up with the other perimeter fence, and that'll be the block for the horses coming out. And then from this corner post across to that perimeter fence, just on this side of the trees here, is going to be another cross fence that I do with this rental today, and then the other half of this fence all the way to the corrals. So let's keep working. My little fencing buddy, she goes and hunts gophers, and then she comes and sits in the truck when I go try to refill.